The 30 people gathered here met in ordinary ways. A careful arrangement after long admiration, a friend's casual introduction, or because they both just happened to be standing near the drinks. They saw each other first in a photography studio or a magazine office, and they talked for a few hours or for 40 years. Later, it felt to them, as it often does, entirely by chance that they had met, and yet impossible that they could have missed each other. Some of their encounters left a memorable impression, though they never spoke again. On other occasions, strong and altering loyalties emerged, permanent conditions of influence were established, and acts of rebellion were set in motion. Writing of their own lives, they very often identified the crucial shifts as having happened in the moment of going through a new door or in the grasp of an unfamiliar hand. A suggestion of what passed between them was sometimes recorded in a single photograph, and other times in the long history of a friendship. As they knew each other better, they wrote encouraging letters, edited each other's novels, went swimming, fought bitterly, dedicated poems to one another, and played chess. They came and went over the course of a century, the fruitful, difficult period that held two related struggles, the Civil War and the Civil Rights Movement. Once in a while, they met behind the lines or on the field of protest, but war and politics were also in their minds when they sat together in someone's library or in a taxi. Many of these people began keeping me company 10 years ago during a solitary year I spent driving around the United States. I had in my trunk 2 crates of books by Henry James, Mark Twain, and Ulysses Grant, Willa Cather, Catherine Ann Porter, James Baldwin, Marianne Moore, and Elizabeth Bishop. I was reading books, as I had not before, to know their authors. I watched these writers responding to love, solitude, religion, the natural world, history, reading, and their families, but I cared most to know how they felt about friendship. I started to read collections of essays and letters, and I realized that many of the writers in my trunk had known one another. Mark Twain had been the first to publish Ulysses Grant's personal memoirs. Willa Cather had written beautifully about her debts to other writers in her memoirs of Annie Adams Fields and Sarah Orne Jewett, and in the essay from which, after long thought, I borrowed the title A Chance Meeting.